everyone, I'm Carlee Spagnolo.
And I'm Ethan Purston.
And we're here reporting with Kids First. Today we will be talking to Jim Chandler and Jen Gotzon Chandler about their upcoming holiday film, The Farmer and the Belle, Saving Santaland. It's a heartwarming Christmas film about what truly matters and love. Thank you so much to the both of you for joining us. So my first question is, thank you. So my first question is to Jim. So the two of you and your niece, Adele Chandler, worked on this film together. What was it like working as a family in this film?
Well, I gotta say that it was an absolute joy. And not only was it a pleasure to work with my wife and my young niece, but it was a complete family affair with the crew as well. My mother helped with catering. My dad helped with driving. My brother was there and he helped build some of the sets. And he also helped wrangle the pigs and the cows. So it was great to have those experienced people with farm life on the set. So we just had a great time as a family. And there was one day where all of us, including my nephew, Elias, and my other nephew, Benton, and Adele, and Jen, and my dad, we were all on the call sheet together as actors. And that was really cool.
Wow, that's really cool, getting to work together with your whole family.
Yeah, so this question's for Jen. So how did you two meet?
Jim and I met on a movie in Tybee Island or Savannah, Georgia, where he played the bad guy and I played the good girl. And it was a match made in heaven after we developed a wonderful friendship.
So you guys were already in movies together?
What was that, Ethan?
So you guys were like already in movies together?
We were. We've been in over 15 films together.
That's crazy.
All right. Okay, so my second question is to Jen. There were several scenes with animals, both on the farm and in the city. What was your experience working on the film?
I love the horse in pink onesie in New York City.
I love that scene.
Dreamer was a dream to work with, and I love pigs. So when we had to put the Santa hats on the pigs, it was my favorite scene. But guys, the pigs do doo-doo, and so we were rolling around in pig slop and pig doo-doo, and it was smelling up my nose, and out of my mouth came an upset stomach. So we had to hold the take for me to get my composure back. So we could put the Santa hats on the pigs. So I had a great time working with the animals. I loved them all.
It's like a fun experience.
Yeah. So this question's to Jim. So what's your connection between you and your character? Do you guys relate?
Yeah, I relate to Josh. He's a guy who is sweet and loving and caring. And while I don't have the exact same experiences that Josh had, I did have a lot of the same elements as far as wanting to treat women properly and to be caring and loving to women. Even though he does have his flaws and he does make a mistake, his heart is always in the right place. And I like to think that my heart is always in the right place as well. I try to carry that into my relationship with Jen and to try to be a loving husband, and then also I try to carry that when I interact with other women, is that to treat them with respect and to treat them like the magnificent masterpieces that they are. And I think that that's something that our culture could really use right now.
Yeah, that I agree with that, because your acting, you really felt like it was kind of like you really looked like you connected with the character.
Wow, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
My next question is also to Jim. So how much of the film's storyline mirrors real events, and can you share how you chose what to include in the film?
Sure. Well, there's many elements that were based on true events. One is that Jen is actually a fashion model, and she actually did those photos that you saw in China with that same gentleman from the movie. He's a celebrity makeup artist. He hired Jen to be the face of his makeup and photography school in Beijing, and we actually went there together. So that was a real portion of the story. The other real portion is that when me and Jen were dating, we lived long distance because we met in Tybee Island and then we went our separate ways. And in order to court her, I actually did write her letters. I would write her little notes and little cards and say, how are you doing? And kind of do nice little sweet gestures like that. The other aspect that's real is that my family does own the farm. All those animals and everything were ours, except for the small pigs. They didn't belong to us, and the really big hogs didn't belong to us either. But the cows and the goats, and of course, Dreamer was not ours. It'd be great if we owned him, though. But so we just decided to bring in some of those real life comedic things of Jen being uncomfortable when she came to the farm for the first time, and actually seeing animals and like getting in close with them. And at the time when she came, we actually had those chickens as well. So those were some of the real elements that we wanted to keep, was bringing part of ourselves to each of the characters. And Jen just kind of got to play herself a little bit because she is the fashion model that she's just like the fashion model that she was in the story.
That's so cool. It's really cool to think that you actually wrote her letters, like in the movie. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, Jen, this question's for you. So Jim answered half of it, which was, did the pen pals actually happen? So your half would be, did you actually have that bracelet in real life? Like, did the story actually happen like that?
Oh, what a great question. That bracelet, the bracelet physically was not in our real life, but the sayings were. See, I struggled with not feeling very pretty growing up and as an adult, as an actress. And so I worked with some therapists and with pastors to really understand, how do we transform our mind to understand that we have beauty within us. And so I started to research that, and I engraved them onto the bracelet, which is what's in the movie, which is encouraging everyone to let you know that you are a magnificent masterpiece. Your body and soul are marvelously made. And that true beauty is when we serve others and we take whatever gift we have and we serve others with that. And when we do it joyfully, the radiance of love exudes off of us. And that's really what is attractive and true beauty.
That is very inspirational. I'm almost crying. That was heartwarming.
Yay!
So my question is also to Jen. So it's, what message do you think people will take away from this film, and what do you want them to take away from the film?
Well, I'd love for them to take away that this is a fun family movie, that they would usher in the spirit of Christmas every year together. That would be the number one. The number two would be that everyone who watches it, that they would have pearls of wisdom drop into their heart with that warm fuzzy to let them know that they're valuable. And their value is not based on what they look like with their hair, their face, their makeup, their body structure, all of that. That's not what your value is based in. Your value is based in how you love others.
Yeah, that was also heartwarming.
So, Jim, do you think if you had the chance, you would change something in this film?
Gosh, that's a very good question. That's not something that I've ever really talked about. We actually did have to cut some things out, but I can't think of anything that I would necessarily want to change, because, you know, everything kind of worked together and came together in and on its own. But if I wanted to change something, I think it would be that we would have had more involvement with the animals, and that we could have incorporated them more and had more fun with them. But when you're on a movie set, it is very difficult to film with animals, and it's very difficult to film with like wet things like mud and stuff like that, because you have issues with what they call continuity, which is where you want everything to kind of stay the same and to be matching up from frame to frame. But if I could add one thing or change one thing, it would be that we could have really gotten more work with the animals, because they were a lot of fun.
Yeah, they looked like fun, because Jen said she loves pigs, but in the movie she doesn't. So it's like really confusing, because it's like the opposite kind of.
Yeah, well, they did smell really bad, so she wasn't doing a whole lot of acting. And in that bucket was actual pig slop that we have been collecting from the meals we had been eating. So it was real.
Okay, so Jim, there was a variety of settings in the film, like the farmhouse, the farm, the barn, the city. What setting was your favorite to film in, and why?
Was that Jen or
I'm
Jim?
sorry.
Oh,
Sometimes
Jim.
we get our name.
Sorry.
Jim, okay. I think the best was to film on my family's property, just because it was so close to my heart. That family or that property has been in my family since 1918, and so we shot on it on its 101st year of being a part of our family. I used to grow up coming there, and now we have a little summer camp that my mom started 20 years ago. That was in part of the film, like the cabins where it's kind of where Santaland is based. So I would say that that would be my favorite because of the sentimentality. But as far as the look is concerned, then being in New York was fantastic. Having a horse in a pink onesie in the Flatiron district of downtown Manhattan was a really, really cool aesthetic, and just added a lot of value to the imagery of the film.
Yeah, I loved the horse with the scene with the horse in it.
And this last question goes to Jen, sorry. Is there any future projects that the two of you will be working in together again?
Oh, I think what we'll be doing is going across the country, showing the movie, and then being able to inspire the audiences with hope about value. We have a devotional book and this bracelet, and we're going to be able to encourage everyone to learn how do you transform your mind with hope and with purpose. And so that'll be definitely something we're going to be working on together this next coming year.
And our baby. We just had a baby. He's 6.5 weeks old. So that too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a serious question though, all jokes aside. Carlee and I have been wondering, why weren't we invited to the wedding?
Guys, if we knew you when we got married on St. Patty's Day of 2017, you would have been invited. We had
Absolutely.
7 cameras, including a drone.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking with me. Thank you very much, Mr. Jim and Jen Chandler from the movie Farmer and the Belle Saving Santaland. It was a pleasure having you today.
This is Carlee Spagnolo from Virginia.
And Ethan Person from Florida reporting for Kids First. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next interview or film reviews. This is Ethan Person.
And Carlee Spagnolo.
Signing off. Goodbye.
Bye.
Are you asking me to stay?